in Parliament?
For example, the increase of the minimum wage.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's already out, right?
Yeah, it's already out. It's already final. That is already done. It was the time of when the then Commissioner of Labour was at the helm, Commissioner Louis Lavice. There was a time when the minimum wage was just at 1,100 guilders, and then there was advice
what was the
draft. The draft was to bring the minimum wage up to I think it's 1,300 and something guilders. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but over 1,300 guilders. That was sent to Parliament upon the advice of the SER, and it was finalized, and then a federal ordinance was put together where St. Martin now has an increased minimum wage of 1,300, I think, and 30 something guilders or so. I can't remember exactly the amount it is, but it's 1,300 or something. So they actually increased it by 200 or something guilders.
Is that giving advice on for or against, or are they saying, well, okay, we need it? Are they arguing for? Said
pertaining to the minimum wage?
Yeah.
No, but that's already done. It's already done where the 1,300 guilders was already established. That is final. By the Parliament. The Parliament is the one that always approves all federal ordinances.
Yes, but
together with the
before you send it, did it come from the island governments first, and then the SED would discuss it? So what kind of argumentative issues would the SED have, or would they be there to advise? Well, we don't think that our island budget can handle it. We don't think that it should be done now because of certain matters. What's the argument?
Well, from St. Martin's point of view, there were a research that was made to understand, and we had the tripartite meeting where they discussed in that meeting that they wanted to increase the minimum wage, which was done, and then the SER was that body that had to advise on whether it was something that could have been done, yes or no, but it was done for St. Martin. I don't believe that Curacao has that same minimum wage. That's something I would have to look into to see what their minimum wage is. But at St. Martin, it has gone to 1,300, and we had a lot of different arguments why the minimum wage should increase. When we look at, let's say, for example, housing. Housing is very expensive here in St. Martin, groceries and a lot of different other expenses are very, very high in St. Martin, and even the 1,300 guilders, according to us, was very low. But you must take into consideration that you have to consult, have this done in consultation with the employers, and government. So unions are involved with it. Employers has to know exactly how much they can pay, but it doesn't mean, and this is something that is happening now with the minimum wage, that people believe once they employ you that they have to start you with a minimum wage, but that is not the fact. I think what should be clear to all employers is that if you are worth more than the minimum wage, you should be paid the amount of money that you're worth, not just paid only the minimum wage, because that is what the less amount of money that you can receive as an employee, and then they decide, okay, we're going to pay you 1,300 or something guilders, and you work more than that. That is something that has to be looked into and addressed very, very quickly in the near future.
So the SED agrees that 1,300 guilders as a minimum wage is not enough.
Well, I don't want to see the arguments of the SED. Is the fact that I told you in the SED there's representatives from the employees, which is the unions, and there are representatives of employers. So you have a situation where most times employers would want the least for the employees, and the employees would want the most for the employees, the unions. But you have to come to some kind of middle ground or a compromise where you say, okay, we can just, you're asking for, let's say, 1,200 guilders, and I'm saying I can only afford 1,300 guilders or 1,500 guilders, and then you come to a compromise or a middle point and you say, this is the amount of money we can afford, and this is what we are going to be advising the Parliament. and then Parliament come to